they don't have much range. They don't have much range here. It's just a character being able to provide that range damage. Yuzhong, Jawhead, Lancelot, Ruby, they're all at the base of everything without their skills in consideration. They're all melee. They're going up against a Selena, Natalia, Ling, Lunox, and Barats, where Barats would really want to have every single melee champion go at him, and they have the insurance of Selena providing the long-distance sniping with the Abyssal Arrow and the traps providing them information.
This draft by Aura PH is unorthodox, but might just work. Onic, though, with their hot-bloodedness, carry them on over with the win over their rivals. Onic PH eliminated Aura PH in the first day, or in the second day of the MPL playoffs in Philippines, immediately eliminating the defending champions. But now here we are in the MPL Invitational Series number 1, and it's game number 3.
And we are seeing a little bit of a standard play style here, a little safer for Onic PH. They don't want to invade at all, don't want to risk any kills. As I say that, Yuzhong over the top side got a little bit of a damage there. He backs off. Bottom lane, Iaknu and Kilowash. Melee versus melee. Ruby will win out the duels against Kilowash prior to getting level 4.
Yeah, the better wave clear from the Ruby, and the fact that he was able to hit level 3 first was able to burn down Kilowash enough to force him to go back. So that's going to be Ruby winning round number 1 in their fight. But look at this rotation from Greed and Greed and JP. That's going to be a tandem to really watch out for here. The Selena, Natalia, the Hunt. If they can get the Abyssal Arrows and the Silences, it's really going to hurt.
Yeah, it's a gank squad that you will almost always not see coming. Quite literally on the Natalia, the Abyssal Arrow is crucial for Greed to connect.
Jay takes a lot of damage in the middle lane. Natalia spots him, but the stun is huge! And the first blood for Natalia, JP secures it.
And you don't want to give a little bit more money on that Natalia, because the more items that he have, the more lethal he's going to be as the dive in towards Delar here in the top lane. Delar has nowhere to run. The Delarmy is crying right now as he falls down in the top lane, and this is Aura regaining the momentum that they had in game number 2. Hated looking to secure a kill onto JP, does have the Yin Yang overturn committed, and he falls down by the same umbrella open.
Hated finally getting something back for Onic PH there. Hades and Kyrie fighting it out for the jungle clear, as Kyrie has 2 buffs. Hades still going for his purple, so that's going to be Onic trying to make a play. The fact that their Lancelot is 1 buff ahead. Look at this pressure into the bottom side, though. Iyaku taking a lot of damage. Kilowash and Greed. Abyssal Arrow is going to land. Detona's welcome. But he doesn't throw Iyaku in time. He didn't spit out Iyaku in time because the turret was hitting Kilowash.
Kabim.
Bang.
Boom.
No follow-up.
As Greed almost paid the price for that. A little bit of a stutter there from me. As the turtle, more than likely going to be secured by Onic PH, no doubt. This is a thing. Natalia, JP on the flip side, scouting out the top lane jungle. Turtle secured, given towards Kyrie.
We're now fight here for the crab coin. Up in the top lane, Hades positioning himself well enough. Now, the interesting thing about the lineup for Aura PH is we're seeing Delar taking a lot of damage and possibly getting taken out here by Kilowash. Uses the Black Dragon form, but the Dinosaur is enough to take down the Dragon. Topside to play here by Aura PH. Here comes the damage to play. It's Iyaku falling really low, and Iyaku is gone. Greed eating a lot of burst damage from Jay, but the Yin Yang overturned. Same man, Umbrella open, throws it. Hades, double kill by Hated. Is someone find Mary Poppins, y'all, because her umbrella's left with Kagura, and it hurts. It really hurts.
To love like this, as the top lane turret is being pushed out. JP repositioning himself in the backlines will try to go for an assassination here onto Hated. Abyssal Arrow being thrown, not finding its mark. But I want to commend Jay in that earlier fight. Yes, he was about to die, but he still manages to dish out a lot of damage as the Ensemble Force connects onto Greed and gives another kill on towards the side of Hated.
Hate being channeled, and hate used to being hated, channeling that anger and fury. Yes, Iyaku taking a lot of damage right now. Benny in JP's spot, but Benny Cutie's here, and he will get taken out. No, wait. What?
Oh,
no,
JP.
Kyrie. Able to take out there.
JP, where are you going?
Double kill for Kyrie, the hot-blooded carry of Onic. Hot start.
Very hot start. Onic PH, they lost earlier half of this early game. They managed to swing things around. Beautiful ganks. And again, commending Jay for his beautiful usage of his skills on that Jawhead.
Now, Kilowatt, we're seeing just how much he already won this bottom lane duel against Iyaknu.
Oh, Hades already low.
Barrett's way too much. Hades, yeah, already low. Oh, Greed.
Oh, Greed being spotted out here. The Thorned Rose, the burst damage from Onic PH is slowly starting to rack up. And this mid lane turn. Oh,
good
forcing
use.
Thorned Rose there. Jay zoning out JP. This turret's not going to go down just yet. Same A Umbrella repositioning themselves. Not committing the Yin Yang overturn just yet.
First big skirmish of the game coming up potentially as the Turtles getting eyed out here by Aura PH and Onic. Both of them. Jay forced to go back, though hated as well, surprisingly. So they're going to reset first and just try to position themselves well enough for a potential Turtle take.
Arrows after arrows being thrown by Greed. Really want to secure this. A trap catches Jay.
No.
Goes for the unstoppable force onto Kilowatt and the extension. They don't have enough burst in that lineup just yet, though.
And so, good split push in the top side by D-Lar to potentially force back a member of Aura PH to defend, but D-Lar is going to get caught out on his way to the Turtle. Aura PH has enough time to make it back to the Turtle to actually contest it and maybe even steal it away.
Yeah, and they are poised to try to steal this. Kilowatt going for the Thorned Rose, secures the Turtle. JP low on HP. Iyaknu dives in. Same A Umbrella open, and the Yin Yang overturn committed to secure the kill onto JP. Kyrie looking for another kill onto Hades, but he will not oblige him that.
Hated is just a monster right now. 7 minutes, or as we hit the 7-minute mark of this match, Aura PH has had no answer for this Kagura just yet and has posed big problems for Onic PH. The next play here for Greed and JP would have to be, let's find that Kagura first before we engage. Yes, we're up against so many other members we have to deal with. We're going to have to use that silence defensively, but maybe this time around, JP and Greed for the next team fighter scrimmage can potentially play like assassins.
JJ, that should not have been a check on that brush, but Iyaknu will get gobbled up and die. JP secures the double kill off of that. Don't want to give any more kills towards the side of RPH. And Kyrie forced to move out. He falls down by the hands of this Selena player. Greed secures that. D-Lar and Hated. No, this should not be happening on Onic. It is a little bit of a misplay from them as D-Lar dives in once again on that Yuzhong. Forces to use the Black Dragon form. Benny Cutie gets ejected on towards the turret. Secures that kill for himself. D-Lar still staying in the mid lane.
The welcome. Gobbled him up, flicker to the back, right onto the tower. D-Lar taking a lot of damage, but the knockup saves him. And D-Lar with the sustains that he has on that Yuzhong, gonna be able to get away. And I like what's happening right now here for Aura PH, that they, again, the veteranship showing that let's make these young bloods make a mistake, and then we're gonna punish them. Great punish there by Aura PH. Just sadly, they weren't able to convert it into a tower. That mid lane tower looked really good, but the members of Onic, specifically Kyrie, the D-Lar, were able to get back in time, especially Jay. Good use of the unstoppable force on the ejector to take out Benny Cutie's Lunox there.
Yeah, and this turtle is up. Onic wants to secure the final turtle of the game as Jay looks to zone out Greed and Kilowatt. This turtle low on HP. It has to be Onic PH securing that. That's a lot of bodies committed. They might trade out the top lane turret for that turtle, but they will trade the top lane for the mid lane and the turtle, and a pause is going to be called.
Aura PH acknowledging the fact that we can't just keep trying to fight them out in skirmishes just as this. We got to change it up a little bit. Like what happened in game number 1, they were losing team fights, they were losing skirmishes, so they decided, you know what, let's just go for the split push instead. Let's try to secure a tower. The problem is now that Aura has to balance that. We saw them misbalance that in game number 1. Where they tried to keep getting the, they were winning the team fights and stuff, or they were losing the team fights, and then they tried to split push too much that it cost them. So now they got to balance it out, and hopefully this time around their split push, sacrificing the turtles, will do good for them. But again, in the story, Natalia and Selena are both supports. There are moments where Natalia can play like an assassin, but at this point in the game, it's going to be hard to balance because the Siles And then the damage of the Natalia is being used to help out the other members of Aura instead of actually looking and hunting for those kills.
Good point, considering the fact that Onic PH is a spell-heavy type of composition. We would really see JP become an assassin truly in the game as we reach the 15-minute mark when he already has 3-4 items already locked in. And we will also be waiting for Benicute to start going online in that Lunox because he, and together with Hades, would become the primary source of damage here for Aura PH.
Endless Battle and Demon Hunter Sword for the Ling, Raptor Machete, Endless Battle, and the Wind Talker for that Lancelot as Kilowatt might get caught out here. That's going to be 4 versus 1. Dayton is welcome, gets a stun here, gets a knockback, and Kilowatt somehow survives that gank onto his lane.
Abyssal Arrow onto the face of Jay, but it doesn't matter. Nobody's following through with that as the top lane engagement here. Iyaknu versus JP, Benicute 2v1. And they will be repositioning themselves. Kyrie spots 2, and will go for the Thorn Rose, forced to dash out of there.
It's a duel. It's a duel between fencers. Well, Lancelot's also a fencer, right? Technically, yeah, he is.
Lance is a fencer, yeah.
Link's also not technically fencing, but you know, both swords. It's a good duel right now that's happening between the two carries of Onic and Aura. And looking at the map positioning, it is still a scramble. Both teams are just trying to find a place or a lane to push into and to pressure. Oh, good spot off there. Oh! Kobe. Bang! Flame shot.
With the foul.
Can we get like a slow-mo phantom cam replay from that? Just watch the flame shot go there, but Onic J might get spot out here by Kilowatt.
And Kilowatt all alone, 1v4, manages to survive. Looking into delaying this as Hades and JP are going to rejoin the fight. Hades does have Tempest of Blades, will be committing it downtown. Dilar forced to use the Black Dragon form to reposition himself.
Jay popped the unstoppable force just so that he wouldn't get gobbled up by Dead in his welcome. That is a big brain microplay there by the tank of Onic PH, but that's a mega kill for JP by Aura. And Aura has the numbers advantage. I don't think Onic will be able to contest for this Lord.
Yeah, this first Lord is going down, no doubt. And focus here for Onic PH is to take down the Lord before it even reaches the, I believe, either top or bottom lane. I feel like it's the Lord spawning on the top side of things. They need to start the push, start pushing in towards the other sides. The problem here is that Kilowatt is too tanky to handle. Bottom lane might just be pushed out completely well.
Good Necklace of Durance pick up there by that Lunox, knowing that he's up against some really strong sustained heroes. So Benicute will be able to chunk down the healing capabilities of Onic PH, the Ruby, the Yuzhong, and even Kyrie's Lancelot, who has good lifesteal with him right now.
And Aura PH finally took down all the Tier 1 turrets. They're sieging up this Tier 2 turret with the Lord as it falls down. Mid lane turret next in line here, but Barats, Kilowatt doing a good job pushing the bottom side of things.
Abyssal Arrow missed by Greed, but Aura PH handling the minion wave pushes really well. It's a 3-way split. The Lord splitting in top, and most of the bodies of Aura splitting mid and bot.
And Iyaknu doing a good job just keeping the Lord at bay here as the bottom lane is sieged up to oblivion. 4 members are committed there. Hades and JP wanting to take down Iyaknu. The Lord goes down.
Oracle picked up there by Iyaknu. Yes, that healing capabilities is gonna be reduced by the Necklace of Durance, but to just balance it out, Oracle for more sustainability there for Iyaknu. They know
Arrow
that they can rely on the backline for damage.
Thorn Rose deals damage onto 3. Benicute forces himself back. Kilowatt waiting for an opportunity to use Daytona's Welcome. Not being obliged. Onic PH backs off. Still in the fight, Onic PH.
This Kilowatt Barrels is just a titan right now for Onic PH. He just can't seem to get past him. Nice hook there by Iyaknu! And the pullback shut down there by Kyrie. Hades uses the Tempest of Blades to try and get away. Abyssal Arrow to potentially stun anyone chasing after JP.
And that is a slight opening for Onic PH to start pushing towards the other lanes, equalize the lane priorities here. Jay knows that Hades and Benicute are in the same spot. Jay already half HP, will get assassinated potentially by Greed, but it has been turned around. Benicute falls down by the hands of Kyrie, and they are looking to secure more kills. Greed force the flicker out, Unstoppable force, and the flicker, I mean. Greed is still being chased down.
Kyrie
Kyrie will go for a duel as he takes him out.
Phantom execution. See you later, Greed. And that was just unfortunate timing there for Benny Cutie. And at the same time, great timing by Hated Skagura, just deterring a lot of the damage that Aura PH was about to deal and throw out. The moment the Umbrella came in, the burst damage from the Kagura was just way too much. Aura PH had to backtrack and, you know, put the car on reverse for just a bit. So now Aura PH are looking to still play like how they were playing. They still do have a bit of that lead, and they still do have the tower push lead. So they just need to do what they're doing, except this time around, don't cut out like that.
Yeah, please don't. And yeah, it's just a 2,000 goal lead. This is the closest fight that we've ever had this entire game. The carries are all relatively even here.
Well, the difference here, though, is that Ling already has that immortality, and Lancelot has now decided to opt going for the Rose Gold Meteor. Of course, a lot of magic damage, and you need that shield for that sustainability. So different approaches in sustainability here.
The Sun and the Yaknu, not enough follow-throughs here for RPH because they are scattered all across the map.
So immortality for the Link can come back into the fight, whereas hopefully the shields and the regen of Kyrie's Lancelot will be enough to keep him in the fight longer. So interesting play for both sides. Let's see which one is going to come out on top even more. So again, Aura PH just trying to reposition themselves better around this Lord as they prepare for a potential take while sending Kilowatt into the bottom lane to split push. He might wait for one or two more minion waves to find better positioning, but I like what Onic is doing now. Just waiting close to the Lord side area to potentially pick off a cheeky member of Aura PH getting a little bit too close, but then at the same time getting ready for what could be a Lord steal if Aura decides to push it first.
Yeah, and the traps are being set down here by Greed just to get a little bit of that information game going if Onic decides to start pushing in. Kilowatt being the nuisance here.
Great trap placements.
Yeah, great trap placements. Kilowatt, again, being the nuisance here, uses, again, the Unstoppable Force, but he's going to get stunned out.
Oh,
3
no.
members. Jay will not survive that. Thorn Bros, not a lot of damage now.
They baited out the Unstoppable Force so that he wouldn't have it as a potential
JP,
escape.
though!
So JP takes a lot of damage.
Come to daddy.
He gets caught out by a Yaknus Ruby. Hades in the bottom lane takes a lot from Kyrie as well. So now Onic PH has the numbers game and advantage. Potentially, they might go for the Lord and start it off already.
And Yaknu has a pull available. Will not be pulling just yet. Lord will not be taken anytime soon here. Onic PH, they need to come up with a strategy to start turning things around as Detona's welcome catches Iaknu, gets the stun but no follow-throughs. Abyssal Arrow being thrown out by Greed. Doesn't find its spot.
Ouch.
Hades looking for an opportunity to dive in. Use the Thorn Rose to evade that Abyssal Arrow. Arrows after arrows. Kilowatt not really being bothered by the damage, like an ant's bite at this point. As they tried to burst him out, Detona's welcome going to be thrown onto that wall. Hades in poised position to go for the Tempest of Blades, but that was a prolonged skirmish, to be honest.
That Barretts is an absolute unit. Kilowatt without a care in the world, just eating all the damage that Onic throws at them. No steal coming in here from Onic. Aura secures the Lord.
Unfortunate knockup by the Lord. Jay was supposed to go for the ejection onto Benny Cutie. Gets the Detona's welcome. Kilowatt will try to secure the kill, but Green gets bursted out. Look at the damage output by Kyrie as he dives in with the yin-yang overturn. Hades is low away from that fight. He's gonna have to run away.
4 members of Onic PH are up, while 2 members of Aura PH are down. Aura PH, though, were able to secure the Lord, so they're going to try to push this out, but I don't think much will come out of this push. Maybe a split push attempt, maybe an attempt to break down the side lane, maybe an attempt to break down that second-tier turret. The Ling is hovering nearby as Onic will have to commit bodies eventually to take down that Lord, but Onic are delaying it. So with the Lord coming in closer, there's no room for split pushing now because there's no minion waves that Aura can use to go for the split, so they decide to go for the Lord or just hover around it to buy time.
Yeah, Kilowatt looking for an opportunity to use the Detona's welcome once again onto Iaknu. Well, he's not going to be obliging just yet. Lord is still heavily being focused on. Finally uses the Detona's welcome onto Jay. Jay uses the Unstoppable Force once again just to not get that damage in. Or that stun in, I mean. Ooh. As JP is starting to become a problem on that, Natalia gets a split push done. And this is what Onic is fearing. Natalia finally showing up.
The presence of Kilowatt actually bought time for Aura PH, especially JP, to take down that top lane turret because Onic were being really careful of how much they throw at the Lord to try to burn it down. And that time they spent just trying to take down that Lord, JP from out of nowhere was able to secure a turret take onto the top, so no more inhibitor. No more third-tier tower for Onic atop their greed. Spots out with the Abyssal Arrow, though.
No Garrote.
No follow-up.
Yeah, Garrote. It's going to be too greedy if Garrote got committed there.
Garroten.
Garrote.
Yeah, we can't make a pun out of this.
Garrotized.
Garrotized. Sure, yeah, now let's just not force it. We can't make a pun out of this.
Yeah, but we can make a point here that Aura PH is way too comfortable in this fight, as a big team fight is occurring right now as we speak.
Abyssal Arrow getting thrown out there. Kilowatts with the damage. They split and they reset. No one fully commits, but Aura PH, look at them creeping, trying to find a great pick off there. Jay Iyaknu gets bursted down by Benny QD, but that's 40%,
Nice
30%. Nice pullback. Abyssal Arrow not going to stun. Here comes the silence. Iyaknu getting really low. The burst coming in from the Natalia. Hades coming in, and now Hades gets caught out though with the injector. This is bad news for Aura PH.
Tempest Ablaze.
Oh, the flame shot misses. Really close, but Iyaknu's down. Abyssal Arrow gets thrown out. Mega kill though for Kyrie.
Oh no!
It's just Hated, it's just Delar, and Aura PH played their cards right, and Onic overstepped. Onic could go down here.
And Delar, Hated, they need to defend this as much as they can. Hated is the only one alive that has a good wave clear to really work on the minions. Delar first forced to use the Black Dragon form to zone Aura PH out of this fight. Hades forced to use the left tip of the blades. Will get bursted out. Yeah, the immortality. He gets suppressed with the Winter Truncheon. Backing off, focusing on the turns in Aura PH. They are knocking on the doors. Is it Aura PH? They will be facing Bread Esports. Turns it around.
Aura, fire, burning hot, and Aura PH